Do you find it challenging when calculating for the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity? Then this video actually finds the simplest way or the easiest way and step-by-step way of calculating for the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Simply put, equilibrium means equality in the market. So this is where consumers and suppliers are at a consensus. To calculate for the equilibrium price and quantity, you just have to equate the demand function to the supply function. The demand function in this video is given as 10 minus P, and the supply function in this video is given as P. So you just have to equate these two functions to find for the equilibrium price and then the equilibrium quantity. So first of all, I want to find for the equilibrium price. So I equate 10 minus P to P. So I have to group like 10. So P goes to the other side to make the other P. Therefore, 10 is equal to 2P. We are finding for P, so divide through by 2 to get our 5. This simply means that producers and consumers are all at the same price. They meet at the same price. So as consumers are demanding at price 5, producers are also willing to produce at price 5. So it means that they are at a consensus or on the same level of agreement in the market. So to find for the equilibrium quantity, you have to put the price, the figure for the price, into any of the functions, being a demand or supply, but I chose to use the demand function. So I have to put P is equal to 5 into the demand function, which is equal to 10 minus 5. Therefore, our quantity or our equilibrium quantity is 5 units. This also means that producers are supplying 5 units whilst consumers are demanding 5 units. So both producers and consumers are at the same level in the market. So now that we are done with the calculation of the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity, I would want us to use these two questions to brainstorm or do some basic economic analysis. So as a consumer or as a producer, how are you going to react when these things happen in the market? The first question being, what happens if price increases to 7? So as a consumer, how are you going to react when price increase to 7? Or as a producer, what will be your reaction when prices increase to 7? And the second question is, what happens if price reduces to 3, I guess? Yes. So as a consumer, what is going to be your reaction when price is reduced to 3? Or as a producer, what are you going to do when price is reduced to 3? Let's not waste much time on this. We are going to make this same analysis using the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity on a diagram. So first of all, I want us to draw the demand curve. And before we draw the demand curve, we need to find for the extremes of the demand functions to aid us to draw our demand curve. So first of all, what is QD if P is equal to 0? We know that QD is equal to 10 minus P, so 10 minus 0 is absolutely 10 units. And if QD is equal to 0, what will be price? So 0 is equal to 10 minus P, and P is 10. So at price 10, quantity is 0. At price 0, quantity is 10. We repeat the same thing with our supply curve, and we know that our supply function is equal to P. So QS is equal to P. What is P, or what is Q if P is equal to 0? Q is 0 if P is equal to 0. And what is P if Q is equal to 0? So our Q is also 0, our P is also 0. So our point for our supply curve is 0 is to 0 and 0 is to 0. After doing this, we go to our axis or our diagram to draw for the curves. The first curve that I actually drew was the demand curve. I used the point that I had to draw the demand curve, and I know that as at this point you already know how to plot this on the graph to draw your demand and your supply curves. So you have to get negative slope for the demand curve and then get a positive slope for the supply curve. So I had 0 points for the supply curve, and I went on to draw my supply curve as well. Yeah, so the supply curve is a positive slope as seen here. Now, after drawing the curves, I went on to indicate my equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity. So at equilibrium, price is 5 and quantity is 5. Now, let's go back into making the analysis that I made here. Our first question was, what happens if price increases to 7? So what is going to be the reaction of consumers when price is increased to 7, and what would be the reaction of producers when prices increase to 7? We know that the law of demand says that as price increases, consumers try to reduce the quantity demanded, and as price increases, suppliers would try to increase the supply. So I draw a line to the demand curve to see the effect that this price increase will have on quantity demanded, and then I also extended it to the supply curve to see the effect the change in price or the increase in price will have on the quantity supply. This indicates that as price increased to 7, consumers laid back and reduced the quantity demanded, but producers produced more. This will cause excess supply or excess product in the market. What happens if price reduces to 3? So how are consumers going to react, and how are producers also going to react? So I extended it to my supply curve and indicated it on the quantity. So you can see that our new supply is reduced, and I extended it to the demand curve to see the effect that it will have on demand, and demand has actually increased. This scenario is going to cause a deficit in the market because producers are not willing to produce more just because prices has been reduced to 3, but consumers are now willing to demand more because prices has reduced to 3. So definitely demand is going to be more than supply. Since there has been a distortion in the market, how are we going to regain our equilibrium in the market? Make it a point to meet me in my next video as I discuss the mechanism to bring back the market into an equilibrium. I want you to try this question on your own as you use my video as a reference. I have also provided the possible answers, and I believe that you'll be able to get these answers as well. I got my equilibrium price to be 50 and my equilibrium quantity to be 650. Subscribe to our channel to be the first to receive updates on this video. Share and comment on this video.